And now you can just tap when you need sounds. Is it recording?
Oh my god, yeah, it's recording. I think I messed it up. Your head's gone.
No, because I'm sitting.
Oh. Because you're setting up. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm kind of digging this music.
I am too.
There's so much different music in it. Okay. Let's get started.
So go live.
We're going to go live without him.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready to be amazed. Put your hands together and make some noise. It's showtime!
Hello, everybody. It is week 6, episode 6, and it is straight up coming at you from Apopka, Florida. Daniel and JR. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. And yourself?
Oh, girl, I'm always doing well. Although that buffet is really working my bubble guts right now.
Whew. That was quite the lovely buffet.
It was very
Sweet
nice.
tomatoes.
Sweet tomatoes.
Sweet tomatoes.
You've called it like 4 different things tonight, though.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet maters.
I don't remember. You know, you called it the tomato place.
Tomato place.
Sweet potato.
Ironically, I don't think I ate this first tomato in there.
No, I didn't.
No tomatoes.
I don't eat tomatoes. I grow them, but I don't eat them.
I ate them, but there was none.
Kind of like Weezer.
I didn't have any there.
Kind of like Weezer.
Weezer.
An old
Oh, my
woman
Lord.
from the South and supposed to wear funny hats and grow tomatoes.
Oh god, my stomach. I am stuffed. Stuffed.
I mean,
on salad bar.
yeah, salad bar. Well, they have the hot food and then they have the soups as well. So those are always delicious. So.
Oh wait, sorry, we already said that. Sorry.
We are live, girl.
We
are
live.
running.
We're waiting for special guests because we were supposed to have special guests this week. Well, yesterday, really.
Yeah, yesterday.
They didn't show up, so we've sent them a little request hoping that they show up on this podcast.
Yeah.
Cole Hankey, a firefighter from Pennsylvania, who we were supposed to interview.
Yeah, we had questions.
Lots of questions. Well, I had 5 questions.
And I had 5 as well. Oh my god, we should have checked yesterday to see if they were the same at all. It's fine.
Well, and we also sent my bestie, Jason Collette, an invite as a special speaker.
I can't wait to talk to him.
They both say waiting, so I think they got the message. Maybe he doesn't have Zcast.
Who knows? I don't know.
I
I don't know how this works. I don't know how we had a live listener last week.
Well, apparently you just click this and say,
yeah, but
no messages yet, why don't you send one?
I don't think they have the same screen we do, though.
Maybe not. I don't know, but yeah. So I didn't even know you could invite other people through Twitter. I wonder if Jersey Florida is going to be here.
Who?
Jersey Florida.
Who's that?
Keith Conrad.
Oh, right. It was the only thing that he could put on.
Right, sure.
I remember that, yeah.
Well, let's just go ahead and dive right into our talk. Well, actually, let's go through our contacts. You can contact us. You can contact us via Twitter at Str8 Podcast DJ, and that's STR the number 8 UP PODCAST DJ, as in Dan and JR. You can also contact us via Gmail at straightuppodcast@gmail.com.
Yep, still haven't had any.
No? Well, Cole Hankey did send us an email.
He sent us one? I thought we sent
He
him one.
He said, hey, it's Cole Hankey.
Oh.
And then you can also contact us via, we are now on Instagram, taking lots of fun pictures and videos.
Maybe Cole is in a fire. Maybe he's on fire.
Maybe he burnt up.
That's horrible.
Well, I know I'm feeling burnt because
We shouldn't
he
call
kinda
him.
stood us up.
We can't think of him as a crispy critter.
No, I picture him as this big redneck, burly, tobacco chewing, Copenhagen tobacco chewing fella.
I don't.
You choose tobacco.
I see him as like a central Pennsylvania standard white man.
Standard white man?
Standard white man.
Well, he said he doesn't chew that pussy stuff. He chews Copenhagen.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so when I picture a firefighter that dips, I just, for some reason, picture like beard and like a burly.
I feel like there would be a health concern there. No?
Well,
I mean, usually it would be
like something.
It would be. I know that's the job. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like they would be like being an EMT that smokes. Like that just seems like it would be strange to me.
I know a lot of EMTs that smoke.
Oh, well.
So anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, we have some shout outs this week. Jay Brom, you are on my Facebook, and I know you listen every week. Thank you so much for that. Keith Conrad, thank you so much for listening to us also. He's the one that told us about the chat.
He sent us the first message, and we were like, what happened here? How did you do that?
Our podcast went way over an hour because we were so excited about the live chat, and nobody's here to listen to us, so.
Yeah.
But that's okay, no worries. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to my friend Nicole. She's a dear friend of mine from Kansas City. It's her birthday over the weekend, and she now lives in New York City.
Well, happy birthday, city girl.
Yes. She has the most adorable little man. His name is Thatcher.
Aww.
Yes, and I'm like a satellite uncle. I'm so excited about it. And then her husband, his name is Josh, and he is fantastic. I met him first, actually. We used to work together, and he's a lot of fun. He is and their whole family are allies to the gay community.
Oh, nice.
They're obviously heterosexual. I mean, they're reproducing, but but they are allies. And
well, the gays do that too.
Correct. Well, and thank you for that. So we appreciate you. So, do you want to dive into your topic first? We'll switch it up a little bit because I normally just go for it.
Well, I think that you have more topics than I do, so I'm going to let you start.
Okay, no worries. This week the one thing that I really wanted to talk about was I found an article, and we're going to try just to give you an idea, kind of like news-ish. But we're going to try to stay away from politics because I feel like there's enough of that out there. So
we're in our educational
correct, yes.
part of our podcast.
Well, I want to give feel-good stories. I don't want to get too negative on this. I mean, I already have an idea for a different podcast that I want to do that would be a little bit more on the negative side, but I want to keep this one light and fun. So
well, people want to feel good.
Exactly. Don't we all? But, so anyway, it's this week. Oh.
A little late, but.
Yeah, no, you're good. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this article that I read about Clay County, North Carolina. The Sheriff's Department in Clay County, North Carolina, has adopted a new policy regarding their canine units. And normally, I mean, I don't know how, up to date you are on the cost of these animals, but whenever they purchase like a German Shepherd, purebred, whatever, trained, blah, 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 it usually runs them about $15,000 to $20,000. Correct.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
For a dog?
For a dog. Well, because they come fully trained, and then basically the officer just has to know the commands and then spend time getting to know the dog and that sort of thing. But literally, they come pretty much just prepackaged, ready to go.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. So Clay County, North Carolina has adopted a new policy where they have actually started rescuing pit bulls from the local shelters and training them at not even a fraction of the cost and doing all of the work themselves. So,
and they probably will do, if not better, just as good of a job.
Mean, according to this article, it was saying that they're finding that they actually mind the officers a lot better. And not to put down German Shepherds, they're lovely dogs. My aunt has 2 of them, and I mean, I've been around them my whole life. They're fantastic, but But these dogs are very loyal. They follow instructions very well, and they're apparently a lot of fun. So there's that.
But there is a stigma that pit bulls are more of a sick to kill kind of command dog.
There is, and apparently they are really good at catching assailants and things like that.
I've never seen a ferocious or harmful pit bull. I've heard stories and I've seen videos, but I mean, I've been around them and I've got plenty of friends who have them, and they're always like big babies. They're just so sweet.
A little shout out to my little Alice up in Kansas City. My lovely ladies, Kathy and Lisa. They're married and stuff, and they bought the U-Haul and everything. But they have 3 dogs, and one of them is the sweetest little pit bull. And every time I go up to visit, she sleeps in the bed with me.
Oh.
And she's just adorable.
So they're just like big little cuddle bugs.
They are. Oh my God. Well, this one is. I mean, some of them get a little hyper, but I mean, they're very sweet dogs. So I really enjoy them. But they do have a bad rap. They're the first one to get banned from apartment communities. They're the first one to get banned from cities. And
well, I work in that industry. I know we don't allow them.
Correct. Yeah.
But I think it comes down to the owner and who brings up these puppies. I mean, I think any dog has the potential to be a vicious dog.
Any dog. That is true.
Depending on how they're brought up and raised.
That's true.
The same for people.
Yeah. We know a couple people pit bulls.
Yes, we do.
Out there, but...
My God, I have the hiccups. I'm sorry.
Right. But while we're on the topic, I did want to bring up something else that's really exciting in the world of puppies and dogs and things like that with the rescues, how that's concerned. A lot of cities and counties across the country have actually adopted a policy, and it's a new movement that's sweeping the nation. They're requiring pet stores to actually sell only rescued animals.
I can jump on that wagon because I think that's absolutely smart. I know there's a lot of breeders out there, and I don't understand why there's so many breeders when there's so many animals out there that need homes.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And
all shelters should become no-kill shelters.
Well, yeah. I mean, as much as you can. Like, I don't know.
Stop breeding them.
Well, and I mean, not for nothing, there's some really good breeders out there because there's some people that really do like purebred dogs. And I don't want to demonize that too much because I understand. I mean, it's like when you're buying a car, sometimes you really like a specific brand, and I understand that. But at the same time, though, if you don't have that brand preference like myself, when it comes to dogs, like there isn't a breed. I got really hooked on like Great Danes for a while, but at the end of the day though, like when I found Maggie, like I still don't know what she is. I have no clue. And
she's adorable.
She's adorable, and she's a great dog.
And she slobbers a lot.
No, not really.
Well, her ball was saturated in slobber when I played with her, so she does slobber.
That's because it's her ball. It's in her mouth. I mean, that's normal. It's not like she's just laying on the couch like all over the place.
That's just me on a Sunday night.
That's true. But I just wanted to mention that because I think it's really cool. And this is going on in California, Nevada, Maine, Michigan, Utah, Maryland, Rhode Island, 4 cities in Canada. And then we actually have a couple major cities in the United States like Chicago, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Seattle. Those are the only major cities at this time that are doing it. But what really surprised me about this, and you're okay, I wanted to tie this into a local flavor. Florida does a lot of things wrong. We do a lot of things wrong. But Florida has...
They let me in the States. So.
Well... and you're right. What really surprised me, though, was there are 43 jurisdictions in the state that actually have this policy in place. 2 are counties, Sarasota County being one, and the other one is like Monroe, I think. And both, like, Sarasota obviously is Sarasota, like the whole area around Sarasota, so that's cool. And then the rest of them are just like cities. The largest one being St. Petersburg. Unfortunately, Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville, none of them have this policy yet. But St. Petersburg is right next to Tampa, so I mean it's growing. And it's gaining strength. So I think it's really cool. But shout out to Castleberry. Castleberry and West Melbourne is the Central Florida cities that are part of that. And Castleberry
well, that's right up the street.
Yes, it is. So I just want to
play to a Poopka.
A Poopka. Maybe a Poopka in Orlando, or join. I don't know. Maybe we should have Buddy Dyer on the podcast sometime.
I think we should pick it. I'm just kidding.
Let's call the labor union.
Let's do a march. Let's pick it.
I think that's a great idea.
Let's picket the shelters. Just stand out front with their sign.
Right. Absolutely. So, and see, I told you that was going to go quick because now it's time for your shit.
That was quick. It was very quick.
I just write a lot of notes.
Well, I'm switching it up because I had something happen to me while I was in Tampa this past week, and it kind of triggered the concept of this. We both work in the customer service field, per se.
Unfortunately, yes.
With the public. With the public peoples.
The pubics.
And so the topic I'd like to discuss is customer service and lack thereof.
I have a lack thereof sometimes, I'm not going to lie.
I always offer exceptional customer service. I don't care how nasty somebody is being to me. I always offer the best customer service.
I'm not going to lie to you. I have a hard time sometimes. But I never, get nasty, though. I always choose my words very carefully, but you can tell when I'm getting angry, because I start getting quiet. My voice, I'll go from, "Hi, this is Josh. How can I help you?" to, "Yes, okay."
Well,
but it's always provoked, though. I always start off. Everybody gets to start off with "Happy Josh," and then it goes from there.
Well, I usually I will end it. If I know it's going to get to that point where, it seems like it's going to be an argument, I always say, okay, we need to be productive here, and we're not getting anywhere, so let's just stop and then revisit this when we calm down. Oh. When you've calmed down, that's what I mean, really. No, so I told you kind of this quick version of this story. I told a couple of friends that this happened to me. And of all places, I'm going to throw it out there. I was staying at the Hilton Garden Inn in Tampa, Riverview, Brandon. And for the most part, Hilton is a pretty good brand hotel. And
they have a decent reputation.
They have a good reputation. You would expect, that the customer service would also be there.
Well, it's certainly not the Motel 6.
I've been treated better at the Motel 6.
Oh, really? What about the Vista Gardens? What was the name of that place?
I don't remember. The compound. I don't remember.
I felt like it was a prison.
I had better customer service there even. But I usually once every other week I'm traveling somewhere and I'm staying in hotels.
Right.
And for the most part, I keep to myself. I go to my room. I don't really take advantage of the pool or any of the amenities or anything. But this particular week, I didn't want to go out anywhere, so I decided to dine in at that restaurant downstairs. And I did this for 2 nights in a row. Well, the third night I go down there and there's nobody in the service area. Nobody in the service area like there was before who I would just place my order with. I didn't do the whole bring my stuff to my room because I'm not lazy like that. I wanted to go downstairs, get the food, and I'll just take it to my room and eat it. I didn't want to dine in the dining room by myself either. So, the third night, there's nobody there, and this lady from the bar area yells across the lobby of the casino. She yells, "I can help you over here."
Wait,
so she already... The lobby of the hotel. Did I say casino?
You did say casino.
The hotel. And the reason, I'm just going to throw it out there, the reason I didn't want to leave the hotel or go anywhere is because most of my friends know that I have a gambling problem. And there is a casino in Tampa, and I was afraid if I go out and get in my car that I would end up in that casino. So.
Now I understand why you stayed in the hotel. Like
That's
you were like,
in the hotel.
I'm not going.
I'm not even going to the gym. I'm not going anywhere. From work, I'm going straight to the hotel, and I'm parking it because I didn't want to go to the casino.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
So the hotel lobby, she yells across the lobby, and it's a pretty good distance. So that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, she yelled across the lobby at me saying she could help me. So I walk over to the bar area, sit down at the bar, and there's only, mind you, there's only two customers. There's two guests sitting at that bar, and they've already got drinks, and they're fine. They're talking with each other. So she flops the menu on the counter, and she says, "What do you want?" Just cut and dry. What do you want? Well, I flip over the menu and I start asking questions about the food in there. I literally am in the middle of placing the order, and a new guest walks up to the other side of the bar. She doesn't say a word to me. She turns her back to me and walks over and like greets the new guest and asks her what she'd like to drink and starts to make her a drink. So I thought, well, that was kind of rude. I wasn't even finished ordering.
Mm-hmm.
So not only
you have questions.
I had questions, yes.
Mm.
So not only does she make her one drink, she also ordered a drink for her husband or man friend that was coming as well. So she starts to make another drink.
Time out. So she made a drink for another customer, but then after that, relative
started another drink for that same customer who was ordering for someone who was coming.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it was her relative.
So she's made two beverages, and the longer I'm sitting there, the more upset I'm getting, thinking she was rude to me. That was rude. She should have at least finished my order. Or something, you know.
Or helped you through it.
Or at least acknowledged and said, "I'll be right back," or something. But she didn't. She turned her back. She didn't say a word. She turned her back to me and walked off. So I was getting heated. I didn't want to make a big fuss of it, so I just didn't say a word. I got up from the bar and I went back to my hotel room. Well, unfortunately, because of this lovely phone case here, it's got magnets in it, and if you get a hotel room key too close to this little puppy, it zaps the code. So you have to go back to the front counter and get him to reprogram it, which is what happened. I get all the way up to my room on the third floor. My card doesn't work. So I have to go back down to the front desk. I get down to the front desk, and I'm standing there just talking to the front desk clerk. We're talking about the case and how that always happens. And, sorry. Oh, no. Sorry. I thought it was gonna turn off, but you fixed it, didn't you? Fixed it. So
yeah, it doesn't turn off.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm sitting at the front counter. Over walks this lady from the bar area. Why she was coming over there to ask me if I wanted to finish my order. And so I looked at her and I said, "No, you were extremely rude to me. I was in the middle of placing my order, and you just turned your back to me to help another guest." This is how she did it. I'm gonna role play her and reenact. "No, I didn't." That is how this woman spoke to me working at the Hilton. "No, I didn't. You were finished with your order." And so I look at the front desk clerk and I said, "Why is she talking to me like this? I'm a guest here just like anybody else." And I started to explain to the front desk clerk what happened. Like, I was in the middle of placing my order, and she turns her back to me and walks off and starts helping another guest. And meanwhile, this woman is sitting here just mouthing off to me beside me. And then I finally said, "What is wrong with this woman? Why is she talking to me like this? I'm a guest in this hotel just like anybody else. I do not deserve this. Why is she talking to me like that?" And she says, "'Cause you're talking to me like that." I said, "Okay." I looked at the front desk clerk. I said, "Okay, I'm going to need to talk to a manager." And this woman comes around me, plows through some business cards, slams it on the counter in front of me and goes, "My name is Bonnie. You make sure you call him. My name's Bonnie." This happened in the hotel at the Hilton, in the middle of the lobby. And while this is going on, there's guests coming off the elevator. Right. I'm sure that's what was going on in everybody's head, because there were guests coming from the elevators. There were guests coming into the lobby, and there was guests in the dining area eating. And meanwhile, everybody stops. There's this look of shock on everybody's face, and I'm standing here like horrified and embarrassed that this woman has screamed at me like this in the middle of the lobby for no reason.
Wow.
So, yes, my topic is customer service. is this like acceptable? Is this acceptable customer service? Because I know in my field, I work in apartment management. If I ever spoke to a guest or a resident like that, I would not have a job.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no, we're going to send you home or you get some time off. No, I would not have a job after a blow up like that.
That's honestly the same thing with mine too. I mean, if anybody ever did something like to that level, yeah, that's bad.
I mean, I could understand. I would be okay with it had I provoked her, or if I did something like was out of line or I was belligerent. I wasn't even drinking. I just wanted to order some food.
Well, did the front desk clerk say anything?
She stood there with her eyes like a deer in headlights, saying nothing. And so as she walks away, again, when she said, because you're talking to me like that, again, I say, why is she speaking at me like that? She says, I'm sick of people like you. And then turned around and walked off, and I looked at the front desk clerk, and I'm like, what did she mean by that? Like and then I was really pissed off. The more I thought about that scenario and what happened, the more upset I became.
Yeah.
So I just think that's very unprofessional, and I honestly would not have a job after. Now, granted, you might have a bad day or not be feeling good or something, but you don't talk to people like that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Especially when it wasn't provoked. Like, if I had done something to her, I could understand, or if I had smarted off. Mm-hmm. But she was rude to me first when she turned her back to me when I was trying to order.
Right.
So, anyway, long story short.
Well, and it was like she was kind of actually like rattling your cage though, right?
She was irritated because I got up after I guess she thought I had ordered some food because I mentioned a meal, and then I started asking questions about it. When I was asking questions about it is when she turned around and walked off.
Well, and she admitted that you didn't place an order.
She admitted. She asked, did I want to finish my order?
Correct. Like, it's not like, like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right, and I thought the best thing to do, because if I had just sat there and wait for her to make those two, not only was it two, there was another drink after that. She ordered 3 drinks, and she proceeded to make these 3 drinks. So I'm sitting here watching her make these drinks, and I'm like more and more upset about it. So I thought the best thing to do, because if she comes back over here, I probably will get smart with her or be rude. So I'm just going to get up and leave, and I'll go out and get something to eat.
Yeah.
So, but where she went wrong is she did not need to come over to me at that front door.
Yeah, she came up to you and confronted
I think she came up with an attitude because she thought I was complaining on her.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to say a word about it. I decided to just let it go.
So, after she walked away, did the front desk clerk then try to do anything?
The front desk clerk she was in shock. She was like, I am so sorry. I was like, well, I don't understand why she even came over here, because that was completely unnecessary, especially to just start screaming at me like that. I didn't do anything to her. She was rude to me first. So the front desk clerk did try to offer me the free dinner, which at that point I was so upset. I just didn't want to eat. I just wanted to be in my room because I was so embarrassed. You can imagine how horrifying that would be if, like, I don't really like confrontation, altercations like that, but how horrified would you be if you were in the middle of a busy hotel lobby and there's people just standing around watching this, and you're like the center of the attention, like people are looking at you? I was embarrassed. I was absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah. I don't know. If someone did that to me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have.
Would you knock her lights out?
No, I wouldn't have hit her, but I don't have
scream back?
It's nearly as cool of a demeanor as you do.
Well, when she started screaming at me, I stopped talking to her and I was talking to the front desk clerk. Meanwhile, she's yelling at me from this direction. I'm not even looking at her.
I would have been looking at the front desk clerk and I'd been like, do you have security? Like, you need to make her stop yelling at me. I paid to be here, or my company paid for me to be here. Yeah. I'm not here because I want to be here. This was not my decision. Make her stop. This is your problem now. You're here.
Well,
you're the witness.
I asked her for a manager, and that's when she grabbed that business card and slammed it on the counter in front of me.
Wait, did the woman who was yelling at you?
The one yelling at me did that. Grabbed the business card, slammed it on the desk in front of me.
Was there a manager on duty?
Apparently not.
There's usually an MOD somewhere.
Front desk knew which room I was in. She knew I was clearly pissed off about what happened and upset about it. Nothing ever came of it from that night. I was waiting and I was hoping somebody would call my room, but nobody followed up. I did write the business card manager, the general manager, a nice email, descriptive email as to what happened. He wrote back that night saying that he would handle it tomorrow morning or the next day.
But he hasn't followed up?
He hasn't followed up with me personally. He has my email address, he has my contact information. He personally has not followed up with me, but I did. Hilton made a mistake by sending me an email asking me to talk about my experience there, because I did. I just copy and pasted the email. And they did offer a free one-night stay in the Tampa area at another, or any Hilton brand hotel, but like still.
We're going to have a great time in Tampa.
But still.
Goonies, you better come see us.
Does that justify the cause as to what happened? You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's two things.
Now I'm kind of jaded, and I'm supposed to go back there next week and work in the area. I don't have a choice where my company puts me, so if they put me back in the hotel, that's going to be awkward.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple things. So, I've worked in customer service my entire life. And 13 of those years were working in theme parks. And usually I was in a leadership role. So, and I've dealt with that before. The only difference is, and this is why I kept asking you about the front desk clerk, because even if not for nothing, the front desk clerk has a little bit of power, and at least enough to say, "Whoa, you are out of line."
Well, she was young.
And that's
fine. She was young. This was an older woman. This was an older lady screaming at me.
It's fine.
The front desk was a younger girl. She looked to be scared, actually, herself.
Mm-hmm. Especially working up at the theme park in Kansas City that I used to work at, I had older employees that worked under me all the time, and I had no problem telling them what they needed to do if they were out of line, which didn't happen very often, just to be honest. But when it did, though, someone had... this is a human nature problem, okay? We, as a society, have gotten to the point to where we are so afraid to interject because we are not taught how to be confrontational anymore. Right. Nobody knows
We're taught to avoid it.
Correct. We're not taught how to deal with it. So no one knows how to diffuse a situation anymore. And that's why when older folks that are, confrontational, they know this and they use that to their advantage. And they were probably hoping that you would just go back to your room and stop whining, basically, is what they were thinking. Mm-hmm. And when I've been in those situations before, the first thing I do is walk that employee away from the situation.
Well, and I don't know if this little girl would have walked her away.
That's okay. So
I was afraid of this old woman.
And that's fine. It doesn't matter. Look, at the end of the day, you can't be afraid of people, because what she was doing was clearly wrong. Mm-hmm. The girl knew it. You knew it. Everybody in that lobby knew it.
I kept looking around. Everybody's like, I'm a guest in this hotel, just like anybody else standing here.
Right.
Why is she talking to me like this?
So the first thing that needs to happen, there's 5 major things here. Number 1, the girl should have stepped around the desk and stepped in between the two of you to remind this other girl, like, whoa.
Well, I even think that like any one other guest could have interjected in that situation. There were plenty of people around, and everybody stopped what they were doing. There were kids, there was parents, everybody stopped what they were doing and was just watching. I think I even saw a cell phone camera come out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm surprised it's not on YouTube.
It was that shocking of an incident. I was just in complete shock that this woman's standing here talking to me like this. And the only thing I said to her was, no, I don't want to complete the order because you were extremely rude to me. And then she started, she said, no, I wasn't, and went into it. And I was just like, why is she talking to me like this? Mm-hmm. I'm a guest in this hotel.
Right.
Just like anybody else. And she does not need to be talking to me like this.
Step number 1
maybe I pulled the diva card a little bit and it struck a nerve with her or something.
But it doesn't matter. Like, when you are working, you have to know when to pick your battles. And not that, in all the years that I've been doing it, it's not that I can't say that I've ever not gotten into a guest's face, but it's usually something where they have had a physical altercation with someone, and I had no other choice. That was my only option at that point. But even in those situations, you just regain control of the situation by, number one, stepping in between the two of you. Number two, stepping her away or stepping you away. One of the two to break
if I was the aggressor,
space.
I could understand. If I was the aggressor, I could understand.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the aggressor. If anything, I was like this little lamb that was like being thrashed over the head. Like, why is she doing this to me?
Well, right. It's not just it's not to protect her. It's to protect you.
But yeah, she should have. She had plenty of time to come around the desk and diffuse it, but she literally just stood there with her eyes wide open, like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening," and didn't say a word.
And that's what bothers me about customer service anymore. Well, here's a situation that happened at Universal Studios when I worked for them. At the Transformers, in the queue line, there was a woman that passed out. She had fainted in the line because it was so hot. Happens all the time. That is nothing new. Every theme park in America has had somebody pass out because it was too hot. Mm-hmm. They weren't drinking enough water and they were drinking too much soda and blah, blah, blah. Well, she passed out, and unfortunately, and I'm not saying this to embarrass her, I'm just using this as an example. And I don't even know her name anyway, and I feel bad saying it because it's so embarrassing, but she urinated on herself. And there were people all around this woman laughing and videotaping this woman, and she had lost control of everything because she had fainted. It wasn't her fault. And I didn't blow up, but I was like, put the phones away now. Like, I was really pissed about that, and I started moving people. I was like, everybody out, I don't care. I've been waiting an hour in line. I don't care. You're done. This is ridiculous. Your behavior is unacceptable. Wow. Go. And so I don't understand why this girl didn't do that. Like, that really kind of irks me a little bit.
I think it comes down to age. She was young. This woman was older.
But why do people care about that? Like, when you're old, young, middle-aged, it doesn't matter. If what you're doing is wrong, it's still wrong. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can be 110 and you're still wrong. It doesn't make you any more right.
Let me just say we're at 32 minutes, and this podcast got real serious with my topic. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be funny.
I know. Well,
this one struck a nerve this week with me.
It's okay for us to be serious once in a while, and this is really ridiculous. Like,
it has been bothering me since it happened. It happened Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Hilton, Riverview, Brandon area. If anybody's watching that works for that company, somebody should know they need to get their shit together there, because
all 45 of our listeners do not go to that hotel.
Do not avoid the Hilton in Riverview, Brandon. It's so awful.
But
weird.
So yeah.
All right, so that was my topic. Do you have more topics tonight?
I don't have any other topics, but
we are at 38 minutes, and I was hoping that any of our special guests, any one of them, would have showed up for the party, but Cole Hankey must be busy on Sundays, which it was Sunday when we talked to him. It was last Sunday, but it was late. It was like
only
around
podcast 10. On Sundays. That might be
probably off out of the fire station because it was like around 10:30, 11ish.
Slide down that pole.
That's one of my questions.
Shut up! That was one of my questions.
Well, you know what? We have some time to kill, so let's get to it. This is JR. He's a firefighter in Pennsylvania, PA, Pennsylvania. Is PA Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's a firefighter.
He was from Pittsburgh? Did he say he was from Pittsburgh?
No, he didn't. I just made that up.
Okay. Oh, you're talking. Oh, right. I'm role playing now.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a firefighter from Pennsylvania, and I'm going to interview him for our podcast and Webisode.
Hello. Wait, what's my name?
JR.
Oh, I can't.
Do you want a different name?
Can I be like
Fireman Bob? No, you don't want to be Bob.
I was thinking about Smoky Butt Bandit.
Smoky Butt Bandit?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I'll call you Smoky Butt Bandit.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smoky Butt Bandit from Pennsylvania. And he's... Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
And he's a fireman.
Yeah, that's totally true.
So I'm just going to dive right into these interview questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, Smoky Butt Bandit, tell me, why are firefighters responsible for getting cats out of trees?
We're the only ones that own ladders.
And over your career, how many cats would you say you've rescued?
75.
Wow, impressive.
And a half, because there was one I dropped. Bounced off every limb of the tree all the way down to the bottom.
Now, was this all from one woman's house, or?
Correct. Actually,
span?
She was the crazy cat lady in town. And that last one, it sounded just like an apple. Thud! Right on the bottom.
Stop, PETA. Sorry, PETA. He's kidding. This is role playing. Just kidding.
You know, I've never done this before. I'm kind of good at it. Keep going.
I know. Okay. Do you have your questions with you, by the way?
I don't.
Mother effer.
I'll come up with questions for you. It's fine.
Okay, good. So tell me, Smoky Butt Bandit, do fire stations still have the fireman poles, and are they used?
Absolutely. You know what happens whenever we're in between fires, actually? We have the lights and the bells
The
and
disco
everything.
ball.
Yeah, well, guess what? Though the disco ball slides out of the ceiling, there's speakers everywhere. We have ourselves a nice little gate disco.
Do you bring in some hose? And...
Oh, no, just the men folk.
Oh.
Yeah, we dance for each other.
Well, well, I don't know what they do in Pennsylvania. I was going to say. I could see that happening in Orlando.
You ever saw Queer as Folk?
Yeah.
You know Avalon?
Yeah.
It's just like that in the firehouse.
So that's what they're doing in that little building.
Absolutely.
While in between fire. That's why they're always ready. They're so juiced up.
Yeah, damn, that's right.
Okay. Again, waiver. This is just role playing. Are there any women firefighters? Because I've never seen any.
Only one. Only one.
In all of America.
In all of America.
Just the one.
Yep, just the one. She has this really nice flannel shirt that she wears under her suit. Every once in a while, she likes to go in and get her mullet updated.
I think I saw her at the softball field today.
She uses lots of hairspray. That wind was not moving anything.
Does she drive a Subaru?
No, but only because she doesn't have any animals.
Okay. Yeah, because she's fighting fires. She don't have time to take care of it.
Right. You know, and Subarus that's the dog vehicle. You have to have a dog to have
dog
one.
owners.
Yeah.
Well, I think the new Subaru is the Jeep Wrangler Extend, or that big.
Well, it wouldn't be a Jeep because Jeep is a different brand.
Well, I know, but I think that's the new. I think what I'm trying to get at here is the lesbian community has progressed from the Subaru to the
Jeep.
4-door Jeep.
Oh, well, you never know.
It seems to be the vehicle of choice. Well, every time I see one of those, I think, oh, it's a lesbian.
I don't know. Maybe you'll have to have her on the show someday.
Yeah. The
one lesbian.
She must be infamous. Well, not infamous, but she must be well known, being the only female firefighter.
You've never met her before?
I don't think so. I've never seen one. I just said.
No, I mean,
I've never seen it.
Her name is Rosie Beef Curtains.
Wow. Her parents are ingenuitous. Oh my God, I can't even think of big words.
I mean, you know, Rosie is her first name.
Right.
Beef is her middle name.
Oh, Beef.
And then Curtains is her last name.
Curtains. You know, I don't think I've ever heard of the Curtin family.
They're very meaty.
Well, clearly, her middle name's Beef.
I mean, she gets the meat sweats all the time.
Wow. Moving on. How do you end up being a firefighter? Was this a dream as a kid, or did you kind of fall into it? Or?
Well, actually, you know, when I was a child, I was in my room one time, and there was a fire that started, and a fireman came in and grabbed me, and he was so strong. I just remember those big, bulging biceps.
Oh.
And
so it was a fantasy that you needed to...
Oh, wait, maybe I'm thinking of a movie I saw. I don't remember. But either way, I wanted to be that man someday.
Oh, and look at you now.
I know. Firefighting.
Smoky Butt Bandit.
That's right.
Is that right? Okay, so
yeah.
That's your name. Okay.
I'm working on becoming a captain, actually.
Oh, not lieutenant?
No, I don't.
Well, I think captain's higher than a lieutenant.
I just want to skip a level.
Okay.
Haven't you ever played Mario? It's possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the secret world.
Mm-hmm.
Does hazing happen in your department? Because I've heard this goes on kind of like a fraternity. Does hazing happen in your department? And if so, what type of hazing did you experience?
Oh, actually it does. And in fact, whenever I first started this particular station that I'm at now, they used to do spankings with have a nice wooden paddle. It's about yay long. It's got some holes in it.
Like at the principal's office back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, but you have to do it bare-assed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Or is that bareback? I don't know. It was something like that. I know I had to take my pants off. It makes me horny as hell whenever I do it, though.
Now, you're at Station 69, correct?
Station 69. Occasionally,
Station 69 in Pennsylvania.
Every now and then I do pick up a shift at 77.
That's funny. I don't even know why that's funny.
I don't know either. You know what 69 is? You know what 77 is, right?
No, what's 77?
What? You don't know that?
Spooning?
No. Well, I mean, I guess you could go there. But it's butt fucking.
Oh. I never knew this about that number.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what 69 is. Everybody has 69.
Well, yeah, because in my high school we were always like, 69, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, we would talk about 77ing each other. Which was...
I've never heard that in my many years.
Oh. Well, it could be spooning, too. I guess that makes sense as well. So, all right. Am I done?
Yes, the interview is concluded.
All right.
Do we want to revert? Ladies and gentlemen, Snooky Butt Bandit.
Thank you.
Do you want to interview me?
Yeah.
This should be fun. I'm pretty good at maintaining my composure, as you know, you're a little giggly, but I think
I mean, usually I am, but I was coming up with things that were just so fucking awful.
I need to hold on. Let me get in character.
Okay. What is your name?
My name is.
What? My name is what?
My name is
Slim Shady.
Pater, fire defeater.
Okay, well, everybody, welcome to the stage, Mr. Defeater.
Pater, fire defeater.
We're so glad to have you.
And I work at the local volunteer fire department.
The volunteer fire department.
Right, I do not get paid for it. So
oh, okay.
I work at I'm a volunteer.
So do you have a union rep?
You know, when you volunteer, you don't really belong to part of the union. You gotta be on payroll for that kind of benefits.
Okay, so the volunteer. So what is your second job then? If you're, I mean, you obviously have to have a job somewhere.
Well, I'm also a stay-at-home father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife, she gets out and makes the big bucks. She's the breadwinner in the family.
Oh, okay.
So I raise kids on the side, but you know, my heart's with the fires.
Okay. Are they good kids?
Yeah, they're pretty good kids. When I see them.
Well, what does your wife do?
Well, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh.
She,
all right.
She's a jack of all trades, if you will.
Okay. And so you're from Pittsburgh also?
Yeah, Pittsburgh adjacent. Live outside the city. It's a little bit cheaper down there.
Okay. So your volunteer fire department is there, or is it in
I'm
Pittsburgh?
more on the West Virginia Panhandle side of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're over there by the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds beautiful, though.
It's gorgeous.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to put on my best Barbara Walters right now. So, well, all right, that's excellent. Now, tell me, what is your favorite, or what was your most memorable fire, and how many alarms?
Well, I'd have to say that time that, Uncle Jed fell asleep with the cigarette and burned up our trailer. that was probably one of the, that fire sure was a going. I mean, it was a blazing. I tried to throw some flare on it. Because, you know, we didn't have a fire extinguisher, so I went outside and grabbed the garden hose, and I was trying to spray her down, but it just, poof. I mean, that mobile home was gone before you knew it.
So wait, so Peter, tell me, you weren't dispatched from your station? You were home?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, that's why I work at the station, is because of that happening. I just knew that was my calling.
Okay, so this is how you got into the trade then?
Sure.
Okay, excellent. Well, there it is. But what was, okay, let me put it this way. What's the biggest fire you've ever been dispatched to?
Oh, well, you know, I ain't never really been to a big fire. I did get an opportunity to visit California when them hills up there caught on fire, but I couldn't do no good there. It was just a vacation for me, you know.
Oh, well, I almost thanked you for your service. But the people of California would have been appreciative of that, I suppose.
Well, ain't nobody have known the difference.
That's true. You're probably right. So, all right, well, very good. And do you ever work the alarm on the top of the truck? Is it a hand crank one, or do you push a button?
Well, we don't really have a truck at my fire department.
Of course you don't.
It's normally what we do is we just have the hose and we show up at the hydrants.
Oh, okay. And you just crank the hydrant on?
Yes, turn the big old wrench with the square thing on it. And you got a lefty loosey, righty tighty.
So technical. I'm so impressed.
Well, you know, we take some training classes, and some of the stuff is just, you know, common sense, but we take some classes, you know.
You watch the VHS?
Well, yeah, it's on the VHS, and I tell you, it's hard to pick up some of it because some of it's just, you know, it's like there's lines that go through it, like the tape needs cleaners. I told them I got a head cassette cleaner at my house. I could bring it, fix that right up, but...
You have the VCR cleaning fluid?
The head cleaner, yeah. I think
liquid?
Well, I think your people use that as poppers, you know.
My people? Are you talking about the people that putt from the rough?
You know, them ones that
them there
put them red condoms on so they can tread through the mud.
All right.
Them pickle pokers.
Okay. Well, yeah, actually we do. We use that as a sexual stimulant, actually. Huh. Have you ever tried it?
Well, I can't say as I have. I mean, I've smelt it on accident, but I use that stuff to put it on that little paper strip in the head cleaner, and then you pop that in the VCR, and, you know, bada bang, bada boom, there you go. You got yourself a clean head.
I always love a good clean head. I mean, there's nothing like a fresh head.
Awesome.
You just rub it, touch it, lick it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I slipped into verse there. So Peter, just curious, do you even have a station?
Well...
You don't have a truck.
Well, it's more like I listen to my CB radio, and, you know, when I hear stuff called out on the radio, the scanner, you know, the scanner, I just show up.
So you're just a member of the NNS.
The what? The what?
The NNS. It's the Noisy Neighbor Association. Or Society. The Noisy Neighbor
Society. She lives upstairs. You hear that elephant up there?
Yeah.
She lives up there.
I hear Henrietta.
No, I just, you know, when I hear it over the scanner radio, I'm like, they need my help.
No.
So I show up and I just offer my volunteer work.
What a good Samaritan.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. That's all the time we have for this week.
Well, I appreciate you having me on your show.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by,
all
Peter.
Right.
What was it, Peter?
Peter, the fire defeater.
Peter, the fire defeater.
Oh my God. Okay, so we said we were gonna do Again, guys, that was role playing.
Yeah, role playing. All right, so are we gonna? We've been circling the airport. You ready to bring this puppy in?
Yes, and I do know what this analogy means now.
Analogy.
Analogy.
Analogy. No. Al. A G.
O-G.
Analogy.
A-N-A-L-O-G-Y.
Correct.
Analogy.
Sure.
Analogy.
Dean. Yeah, it's done.
Analogy.
Done. It works.
Yeah, I do know what that means now. And yeah, we talked about shortening this podcast, but oh my God, we can't get it all in like 30 minutes.
Well, no, we're good. I mean, we're bringing it in. Let's bring it in. We're
right.
going to talk about how long it is.
So once again,
Making
we're gonna
it longer.
We're gonna throw out our stuff. Throw your stuff out. I'm just kidding. You can find us on Twitter at Str8 Podcast DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Gmail at straightuppodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on the Instagram at I don't know our Instagram. Str8 Podcast.
It's Str8 Podcast, all spelled out.
Str8 Podcast, but it's STRAIGHTUPPODCAST because the number 8 was taken.
Unfortunately, so we tried. And words to live by this week?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, words to live by. Perseverance through life's trials and tribulations leads to the knowledge of when to quit and when to roll up your sleeves and walk through a living nightmare with a smile.
And mine is closing.
I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
You know, if you would put notes on it, it would say what you wanted to say.
I do the least every week for the podcast, obviously. So I need to contribute more. Because when this takes off, this bitch gonna get famous. I'm gonna be sitting in the shadows.
Oh, shout out to Ross, though. I love you. You're my idol.
Ross Matthews?
Yes.
Oh, Ross Matthews, if you're out there hearing this.
Please tell me what to do. I know
She wants the Black Pearl.
I do want the Black Pearl, but more so than that, I would love. You know, I don't get starstruck. I have met some very famous people, just to name a few, like Steven Spielberg, big time people, and I've never been starstruck, but I feel like my face would turn red and I would get totally starstruck if I got to meet Ross Matthews. If you met Ross Matthews?
He seems kind of down to earth to me.
I know. I would be able to have a conversation, but you would definitely be able to tell that I would be nervous. Margaret Cho, RuPaul, In Vogue. Like, I've met some really famous people, even in our community. But the
plane has just went back up.
We're catching lift. We're catching lift.
A little turbulence coming down for the landing.
So anyway,
so my closing.
Yes.
So my closing is every day's a great day. Some are just better than others. What? Words to live by.
Words to live by. I love it. If there's anything that you want us to add, well, not add, but like if there's any shout outs you want over the week, contact us, let us know.
Send us an email.
Birthdays,
Instagram.
Anniversaries, anything. We would love to talk about that a little bit.
And we're going to try to work on this guest situation and have someone.
Yeah.
I mean, they had an hour to show up, and it's waiting for both of them.
Correct. So. And please remember, you can chat with us now.
Absolutely. Zcast. You can download the app, or you can go to the website.
Right.
Zcast, and find our podcast. It's Str8 Podcast. It's usually at the top because we get a lot of listeners.
We do actually have quite a few listeners, so it's good.
But we do every Sunday night, Sunday evening. Anywhere from 7:30 to like 10 in that range. If you can leave that time slot open.
We're trying to iron that out. I mean, we tried for 8:30 tonight. Oh, well, no, we tried at 8, and then it went to 8:30, and then it ended up being like 8:40. I don't know, but
yeah. So okay, so we're rounding the 1 hour mark. We're gonna shut it down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great week.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for attending the performance. And a special thanks to all those who helped with the show.